And we are live.
Yeah, and that was the extent of my date with Adele. Oh, wait.
Fascinating. Well, I'm glad that Three Hams brought that up. That was a really interesting story.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, why don't we start a podcast? Wits End, you're going to kick it off?
It's Thursday at 9 o'clock. What else would I be doing but starting a podcast?
Don't know.
Okay.
But here we go.
Here we are, Thursday night. Welcome to Caching in the Northwest. This is the only podcast dedicated to geocaching in the Great Pacific Northwest. Tonight we'll talk about caches and caches unique to this little corner of the country. So grab your Sharpie and sign that wet logbook. It's time to go caching in the Northwest.
And you know, we can't talk about caching in the Northwest without bringing in our moist monkey. Some say he dances in the rain where cameras can't keep up. And others say he only dries off with ShamWows.
Yeah, you
All
follow
we know is he's called Land Monkey.
Hey, everybody. We've dried off enough for tonight to be able to at least be on the air and not electrocute ourselves. And tonight, speaking of not electrocuting ourselves, we are talking about the Rite in the Rain products with our guest, Jim Kopriva.
What's going on, everybody?
We're doing a podcast. That's what's going on. But thank you for joining us. Thanks,
I'm saying hello to the listeners. Yeah, we're going analog today. Going old school, pen and paper. I'm down.
There we go.
Awesome.
I love it.
All right. Well, and thank you very much, Jim. We're really happy to have you on the show tonight. This is going to be an interesting conversation. I don't think we've ever, we've talked about logging, but more from the best practices, not the what do you use to do it. So this is going to be an interesting conversation. Looking forward to this. And just as Jim welcomed and thanked the listeners, I want to welcome all our returning listeners. And folks, you know that we love hearing from you and about your favorite caches and caching locations in the Northwest in your very own voice each week on our podcast. So please be sure to use the voicemail tool on the website to send us your favorite cache, and we will play it on the podcast soon. Your message just needs to be about 15 seconds. It's enough time to say, have you met my friend Ted? And then your geocaching name, the GC code, the name of the cache, and why you liked it.
Certainly. And tonight, we're going to listen to one of our younger listeners.
My name is Michael. I'm with Families Out. My favorite Northwest cache is 7/20/96 because it is my birthday cache that we have placed at my grandparents' house. So
there you go. Nothing like a good birthday cache.
Yeah.
And why would I bring up birthdays this time of year?
Why would you do such a thing?
Such a thing.
Well, we're coming up on the birthday of our very own Wits End.
That's right. I share a birthday with Elvis Presley, and since he's no longer using it, I claim it as my own.
Hey, happy birthday!
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I'd like a beef burger.
So are you gonna what is it, a banana and peanut butter fried sandwich or something like that? No, what?
No, that sounds quite tasty, actually.
What was the infamous Elvis sandwich? I can't remember what that was.
I think it was peanut butter and banana. Does that sound right?
Is this the last sandwich?
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't know, but there is a geocaching event associated with said birthday.
Elvis's?
If somebody
Yes.
were to choose to look for it, I'm sure there is actually. Yeah.
Is it somewhere in Tacoma, perhaps?
It is.
By the
Excellent.
time most people listen to this podcast, it will have passed, and it was fantastic. Let me tell you, it was real and it was spectacular.
There you go.
I love it. All the television references.
Seinfeld. Okay.
All right.
Well, we seem to be Land Monkey heavy on the beginning of this show, so Land Monkey, give us some news.
All right. Well, we have some news. Let's start in with some news from one of our favorite organizations, to talk about on the show, and that is North Shore Rescue. Every year, North Shore Rescue has what they call the Tim Jones Community Achievement Award. It is honoring Tim Jones, who has passed away, was a very substantial member of the North Shore Rescue team. And nominations will be accepted from the public with a deadline of January 22nd. So, depending on when you're listening to this podcast, you may be getting pretty close to that deadline. Now, if you know someone who has made a difference on the North Shore, be it in their career as a volunteer or in any other capacity, you're encouraged to submit a nomination. The Tim Jones Community Achievement Award is co-presented by the VIMFF and North Shore Rescue, and I do not know what VIMFF is. It wasn't explained on the website. It's just, I hate it when people use acronyms and don't define them. It drives me nuts. Pet peeve.
The Vancouver Metro International Film Festival.
Yeah.
Could be.
I think that's what it is. We're going to go with that.
Okay.
Anyways, it's an annual award recognizing exceptional contribution or achievement of an individual or a couple in any aspect of Vancouver's North Shore community. So if you're interested in nominating someone, check out the NSR website at northshorerescue.com.
Very cool. I'm going to nominate very important men with French fries.
Ooh, I like that. Interesting. What about if you've called North Shore Rescue a lot? Could that qualify?
I don't think that would qualify you as being someone who has made a difference. Well, I guess you've made a difference on the North Shore. You've made everybody busier.
That's right. But that's probably not what they're referring to.
Yeah, that's not the kind of difference they want.
You're probably going to be on a different list.
Yeah.
Well, a while back, the Washington State Park Centennial Geo Tour started, and just this week I saw some updates as to the end of the year. So this information was provided by Ranger Tina. So in the last 36 months that the Geo Tour has been in place, 200 silver finders and 47 gold finders have done the caches. Now, what do I mean by silver and gold? For silver, you have to find 50 of the 103 caches, and for gold, you have to find 100. And there are 16 what they call super gold finishers that have found all 103 caches.
Wow.
They put 100 caches out for 100 state parks to celebrate the 100th anniversary.
I was wondering which series this was.
Yeah,
okay,
that's great.
The one, there's one in every one of the state parks. That is very cool.
Very cool.
So all the original gold and silver coins are gone. However, there are 35 of the updated gold coins still available, and 180 of the updated silver coins still available. So if that's something you're looking for, you can still go out and do the Washington State Park Centennial Geo Tour and earn a coin for it.
Yeah. That sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Sounds like a little bit of work, but it sounds like a lot of fun regardless.
You'd get to see the state.
Yeah, well, and you're going to go out and geocache anyway. Why not earn a nice geocoin to commemorate the occasion? So, other news this week, geocaching.com sent out an email, and they said, if you might be, whether you knew it or not, this year holds some extra special delight. Did you know this year, it's a leap year, which means there's going to be 366 days this year, and that means that we all get an extra day to go out and geocache. So, of course, geocaching.com is celebrating with a souvenir. Actually, now how much would you pay? They're making it extra special. There are 2 souvenirs.
You keep it up with the camera guy?
That's right. The first souvenir can only be earned on Leap Day itself, which, for those of you that don't know that, is February 29th. I think everybody knows that, but let's just get that out of the way right now.
It's the one day on your geocaching calendar that has nothing in it.
Actually, I have a find on February 29th. I have about 100 other days that don't, but I have February 29th. It's the one day on your geocaching calendar that has no finds on it. Just saying.
That's true.
So the first souvenir can only be earned on that very day, February 29th, by attending a geocaching event. The other souvenir can be earned all weekend long, which is February 27th through 29th, by getting outside and finding a geocache. Now, here's a little hint. you're going to want to earn both of those souvenirs. So get out and find a cache that weekend and get yourself to an event on Leap Day.
Can I point out that Leap Day is a work day? It's Monday, and it's not a stat holiday for most people. So if you're planning on holding an event, can you do it after work?
I don't see
Why
not.
don't you hold one?
Yeah, I don't see why not. And maybe there's just going to be, you've heard of the blue flu. This will be like the cacher flu. There'll be a lot of geocachers calling in sick to work that day. Not that we condone such actions, but you never know what's going to happen.
I have heard geocachers already planning to take that day off.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. Talking about finding caches and finding milestone caches, our good friend and loyal listener and head of our Caching in the Northwest Research Department, Brylang, hit milestone 4,000 on New Year's Eve. That was December 31st, 2015. And in the notes tell me it was GC5 MKCR. Wow. Monkey Hills Credence River. I don't know. So, Brylang's been out geocaching. We've been out geocaching. What have you all been up to geocaching? Did you have a great week geocaching? Line Monkey, did you find anything fun?
We did, and since it's been a couple of weeks since we've been on the show here, there's lots of geocaching that we've been up to in that time. What did we do? We did a lot of stuff. We went out and we've of course spent some time with the family over the holidays, but we've also been out geocaching. We hiked up in the snow, up the trail to Hoover Lake. Didn't make it all the way to the lake because the snow got up to over 1 meter deep, and we didn't have our snowshoes with us, so we thought, we'll come back another time. But we did get our souvenirs for Goodbye 2015, Hello 2016. We attended a great New Year's Day event. That was a lot of fun. It was a really good turnout. Lots of the local cachers, and it was like less than a kilometer from our house, which is perfect. We enjoyed a day caching around Richmond. That was New Year's Day. We avenged some DNFs. That's always nice. You can go out and find caches you've previously DNF'd.
That's good, yeah.
And last but not least, we completed our requirements for the West 122 Degrees Longitude Challenge.
That sounds impressive.
Yeah, I don't know that one. I'm going to have to look it up.
So basically, for West 122, you have to find one cache in every one of the minutes.
Oh, okay.
That is impressive.
Wow.
60 caches that all line up.
Mm-hmm.
Very good.
So yeah, it should only take you an hour. You just need 60 minutes.
60 minutes, yeah. How hard could it be? Speaking of time, Doramore says, Landmonkey, she's working the late shift that day on February 29th, so if you do host an event, please do it near Ladner and after 6:30 p.m.
We'll see what we can do.
All right.
Nice. Wits End, what about you? I know you got out and did some caching this week.
We did a little caching this week, yeah. Got up at Dark 30 and went up and found a few caches up on Whidbey Island. It was a beautiful, beautiful day. Cold, but beautiful. I had a great time finding a few geocaches up there and then chowing down on a buffet, eating way, way too much. And I think that's all the caches I found this entire year. If you looked at my stats, on January 2nd, my geocaching.com stats showed that I found an enormous number of caches per day for the year 2016, and every day since then, my average per day has gone down substantially. Math is a fun thing.
Isn't it? I like math. Well, I know you found at least another one this week. We went out on a lunchtime find, and
we did.
Went and got one. I actually hit cache number 2,000 when I was on the Whidbey Island cache machine. Along with many of our friends, including Brylang. He said he found 57 so far this year, thanks to the Whidbey Island cache machine event.
Nice.
If you guys don't know what a cache machine is, we're not talking an ATM. No. This is an event that's coordinated 4 times a year, and you go to different cities in the Northwest. Sometimes it's Washington, sometimes it's Oregon, sometimes it's Idaho, and even north of the border into Canada.
Nanaimo, I heard, is coming up.
Yeah, Nanaimo. That sounds like a lot of fun.
On Vancouver Island?
I think so.
Yeah.
I could be wrong, but I think I heard that.
Quite a trip to get over there.
So these are coordinated by Travis L., the local cacher, and he does a lot of work to make these things nice. Not only does he put out a step-by-step map to get you through all the caches. In fact, on the Whidbey Island cache machine, I believe there were 79 caches.
That sounds right.
With turn-by-turn directions. If you want to follow that, of course, you can take any path you want. And each one of the caches have been vetted that they're there, and the cache owner wants them to be found during the cache machine. So a lot of hard work goes into these, and it makes it a lot of fun.
That's very cool.
All right. Well, I think that's enough news for tonight. How about we say we get to our patient guest who's sitting idly by waiting for us today. We have joining us tonight Jim Capriva of Rite in the Rain Products. He's the assistant product manager there. And whether you know it or not, Rite in the Rain Products is located right here in the Northwest in Tacoma, Washington. And they make these fantastic things, but I'm going to let him tell us all about the products and tell us a little bit about yourself, Jim. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys. So my name is Jim Capriva. I'm the assistant product manager, and what that means is I solicit feedback and try to improve the products here. I'm also the guy behind our Facebook and Twitter, so if you send us a message or shoot me an email at jim@riteintherain.com, I'll be the guy talking to you about it. But yeah, Rite in the Rain, we make water-resistant and durable writing products. We've been here in Washington State since 1916. So as of January 1st, we're celebrating our centennial anniversary here, and awfully excited. It's a huge milestone, and we're awfully proud to hit it.
That's amazing. That's very cool.
Do you have anything planned for this centennial celebration? I mean, is there something that we could all be a part of?
We do, and that's in the works right now. Coming up in July, we're planning on having at least a get-together. We're picking out venues right now and trying to get something going. But yeah, certainly stay tuned to our Facebook, and I'll keep you guys posted directly too. We have to do something, and we're kind of putting the pieces together for that. And yeah, it's exciting.
We may just have to throw a geocaching event then.
There you go.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, they could be co-located.
Yeah.
Nice.
Sorry, you broke up on me a little bit there.
Oh, I was going to say the two events could be co-located. We could do a geocaching event right next to your party. We'll get a lot of people there.
Yeah, like who are the people climbing trees and digging outside of our party? But
oh, those people. Yeah, well.
Don't worry about them.
They're buying product.
Yeah.
That's true. Now, Jim, I think most of our listeners know about the Rite in the Rain products, but would you tell us a little of this company's 100-year history?
Sure. So back in 1916, well, as you know, Washington was the lumber capital of the U.S., and an entrepreneur named Jerry Darling was the guy that first started treating just shingles of wood. So they were more board-like than paper-like. And he quickly transitioned into kind of pulping his own paper and coating that in this substance that he created in his garage with his wife, and they were hand painting shingles and pieces of homemade, almost papyrus-like paper materials, and they were able to refine and improve that process and very quickly establish the Rite in the Rain brand. And so at first it went by a different name, or a few different names, as he was kind of finding his wings. And it's gone by Rite in the Rain ever since 1920. But yeah, the original product back in 1916 for loggers and timber cruisers that were mapping and working in like the Olympic Peninsula and that area. So yeah, it goes back to logging and here in Washington State. And since then, it's been a long 100 years, and our stuff has kind of proliferated around the world. And what's really great about my job specifically is being in touch with people on social media. I swear I get the coolest people just emailing me saying, "Oh man, Rite in the Rain. I've been studying penguins in Argentina, and I use this stuff all the time. Come up to the University of Washington and look at our research lab, which has a 40-year archive of Rite in the Rain notes." And it's stories like that every week. It's just so out of left field and so extreme, and the people that use our stuff send me pictures from Antarctica and Argentina and South Korea and just every far region of the world. So, yeah. Good times.
I love that.
That's great.
That is amazing. Do you guys? I'm going to depart from the script just for a moment, but do you guys keep an archive online of a lot of this kind of stuff? These stories?
Online, no, but actually that's my next project because some of this stuff is just hilarious. We had a guy. I put it on our Facebook a couple of weeks ago. I dug up a letter from our box of history, basically, and it was from an engineer who built the Columbia River Bridge. And a clipboard had fallen and tumbled into the river from great height as they were building the bridge, and was recovered nearly 2 months later in a raw sewage outfall. And so this individual was kind enough to envelope and send us this compromised letter saying, "Look, you can still read it," after months of sitting under unspeakable substances.
You don't want to smell it, but you can read it.
Yeah. But that's the kind of treasure trove of great things we have. What's interesting is we came out with a centennial product, so we have these gray, they're like a slate gray cover with a bookmark and some cool features. And the very beginning, the first pages, we thought to include a couple of, really my favorite letters that we received from Seabees in World War II. We had a letter from an engineer. In 1953, he sent us a single $1 and basically said, "Please, I'll pay you out of my next paycheck with another $1 as soon as I get it, but please send me a packet of that Rite in the Rain paper." In 1964 was the sewage outfall. 1985, archaeological surveys, they found one lodged in ice and defrosted the ice and pulled a legible notebook out of it. So I tell you, these stories, you could not make them up, and they're from all around the world and from the best people. And and now it's geocachers that I hear quite a bit from, and the crazy things and the tests that they're putting our stuff through. So
that's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah.
So Jim, what is it that that makes the Rite in the Rain paper unique or different than just ordinary paper that we normally are used to using?
Well, it's the KFB, and we don't mill the paper, we treat the paper, and it's that treatment process of ours that's pretty unique. It's not a coating; it actually incorporates itself within the paper, and so it's real wood-based paper, surprisingly, that's under there, no synthetic, and it's pretty friendly with what kind of writing utensils you can use on it. And it's water resistant, most importantly, not quite waterproof. But we really encourage people to push it to the limit, and to try submerging it, and to try messing with it, and honestly try to break it, and have a good time doing it. It's a fun product to bring to the Parkway, and pour a 7 C's on and show everyone around. But yeah, it's a variety of products. We have printer paper and notebooks and things like that, and they all use that same process of the treated paper, treated in the same manner, and the benefit is universal, and that's supposed to be every Rite in the Rain product will endure harsh conditions and daily use, no matter how hard you use it.
Wow, that's great. So apparently they're water resistant and raw sewage resistant as well. I don't intend to test that one out. It sounds like that test has already been taken care of.
If you do that torture test, don't send me pictures, please. Thank you.
We'll just mail you the product, the notebook.
Don't do that anymore. I have one of those. I'm good. My collection is set.
He's reached his quota for the raw sewage treated Rite in the Rain paper. So
I'm good. We're all set, guys.
So the company's been around since 1916. That's really incredible. I only know a few organizations that have been that far. How long, though, have they been making these great little notebooks? I have this little yellow notebook I've had for a while. I keep it in my daily go bag, all-weather notebook number 146. It says right there. Mm-hmm. It's a great little product. I keep a little, not only in my notebook, I keep a couple of sheets in my wallet just in case I need to leave a note somewhere or replace a log sheet or that kind of thing. How long have they been making this kind of a product?
Oh, those little pocket notebooks have been around for probably about 35 years now. We got at least with that spiral binding you see on there, it's called our Wire-O, and it's a little tough to compress. If you run it over, it'll flatten, but if you're sitting on it all day, actually isn't too uncomfortable. and it won't press myself. And sitting down on it, no type of compression, no problem there. But so that one's been around for a good while. That's kind of our staple. The 3x5, you have a 4x6 there, but that 3x5 outsells all of our other products by a long margin. So if you think of that yellow spiral, that's kind of what we're best known for.
Mm-hmm. Without a doubt. You mentioned, Jim, just a few moments ago that almost everything works on a Rite in the Rain paper. What is the recommended writing implement to use on your paper products?
Yeah, that's by far our most common question is, does it need a special pen? It does not necessarily. The best results, no matter in any type of weather condition, I would just say use a pencil. The paper will, whether you submerge it, whether you're writing on it when it's actively wet, whether there's water streaming down it, God forbid raw sewage, it'll write right through there. Ballpoint pen and permanent marker also work as well. Because the paper is water resistant, it's water-soluble inks that you really have to look out for. So gel pens, I know that Pilot G2 is very popular. Unfortunately, that one will struggle a little bit on Rite in the Rain. And fountain pens, but I can't imagine most people are out geocaching and dabbing a quill. As fun as fountain pens are, unfortunately, they're a no-go for Rite in the Rain. We make special Rite in the Rain pens that perform very well when the paper is wet, and you can write upside down with them and that kind of thing. But by no means are they entirely necessary to write on our stuff with.
All right. Well, I know that geocaching is where I first ran across Rite in the Rain paper, and I use this in my caches for log sheets, and like I said, I carry it with notes. But since we're here talking about geocaching, how long has Rite in the Rain been associated with geocaching? How maybe did you guys first find out about geocaching?
So I've been with the company a few years, and one of the first products that I saw of ours was that little logbook, that little tiny slip. Yeah, so that one, I know that product has been around in excess of at least 5 or 6 years. It predates me for sure. But that one turns up quite a bit when I see that on YouTube. That's kind of the Rite in the Rain that people know us by among the geocaching community. And I suppose because it fits in any type of
Sure.
prescription bottle or film canister, that one ends up in a lot of tiny little nooks that probably frazzle you guys a little bit when you're out on the hunt for them.
All right. Little.
Well, we have a live Q&A.
Yeah.
So we get all sorts of different comments as the show goes along. Wet Coaster has said that he works on a construction site and always has one of the hard-covered notebooks with him.
Hey, right on. Yeah.
So there
I think
you go.
that's he'll be glad to know that we're just getting into Home Depot now. So he's probably in there a couple times a day if he's in construction, and that's our big new account that we landed last year, and our stuff is starting to proliferate in there, and yeah, awfully excited about that. But hey, thanks for using our stuff.
That's
Very
cool.
cool.
Do you know if that's going to be Home Depot in Canada and the U.S.?
Working on Canada, U.S. for right now. Our Canadian distribution is only a point of emphasis here, and we're talking to, I believe it's Staples Canada is the newest Canadian account. So that's another big step towards a common availability.
Excellent, excellent. Well, we've certainly heard back on social media about geocachers using Rite in the Rain paper. When we were promoting that you were coming on the show, we've heard from England, New Zealand, the U.S., and of course Canada. We've also heard from friends of the show and caching suppliers, Land Sharks and World Caching, and we know Lisa at Cache Advance carries your products. And, so seeing that they're so worldwide, and the stories you've already shared, Jim, about the use globally and locally, some of the interesting uses. Are there conditions in which Rite in the Rain paper is maybe not ideal? I'm just spitballing, like extreme heat, humidity, or cold, perhaps.
Our stuff really does fare well in any of those conditions. So, for example, the paper will be fine hotter. Burn other paper with a magnifying glass in the sun. I imagine you'll get it to start a fire after a while. But
Jim,
actually, the
you
pens.
broke up a little bit. Could you repeat that?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. So the paper is going to be fine pretty much no matter what. Hot or cold, wet or dry. You don't have anything to worry about there. The pens themselves also, because they use a pressurized ink cartridge, they have an absurd temperature rating, and it's from below zero to nearly boiling. So those pens will write no matter what, too. So, yeah, there really isn't any limit to where you see our stuff. And, you know, like I said, I had a guy from Antarctica. He was studying crustaceans that were frozen into the sea ice. And with these very wet, icy, waterlogged gloves, he wouldn't dare take a glove off while in Antarctica.
Right.
So he had no choice but to write with these like soggy gloves. And he was saying he was just really glad that the paper was able to hold up to it. So, is there a geographic limitation on where this stuff can go and function? I don't think so. I have yet to see it. I think the rest of the world is very well represented from the stories I hear.
What about out of this world? Have they taken it to the International Space Station?
Well, you know, that one time I was abducted, I think they took my notebook. So I imagine they'll follow up with me at some point.
That's a different podcast. We talk about that one.
Yeah. I got those guys next. They'll be beaming me up, and I'll be joining them from Mars.
Yeah, that's the late night podcast. That talk about those, yes.
The interdimensional one, yeah.
Can you run your Rite in the Rain products through laser or inkjet printers?
Oh, hey, good question. So we used to have an inkjet line, but we just discontinued that one. Laser printers only for our Rite in the Rain stock, which is the wood-based stuff, and we also have a Dura-Rite stock, which is a synthetic, and that goes for the rest of our line. But both of the synthetic, the benefit being they're completely waterproof and much better for submersion as opposed to exposure. But yeah, both can be run through laser printers.
Nice.
I know
I
ink
have to pick some of that up. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I know inkjet printers, the ink tends to be water soluble, and you mentioned that was an issue.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
Yeah, I have to pick some of those up and run them through a laser printer to get a nice logbook, log sheet, lined the whole bit, and cut it out, put it in a cache. So
yeah.
I think I'm going to do that. Well,
Jim, sorry. Before you jump on there, I was just going to say, Jim, do you have any tips if people are planning to do what Chris was just talking about maybe pre-printing through the laser printer on the Rite in the Rain paper? I know a lot of the geocaching suppliers, they will sell like a 10-pack of the paper that you can buy so that you could run it through your laser printer. But is there any tips or tricks you have if people are planning to pre-print?
Yeah, absolutely. So in order to really recommend something, I think I would first need help. We have something called our free form section on our website where we have user-created templates and things like that. And often they are very, very specific. And in our product development meetings, the hypothetical, goofy example of a product we use is the goat milking notebook, because that is the niche of people that there's always these very specific applications. And for these specific applications, people create, documents and forms and things. And if you send in a form that we post to our website, we'll send you a $50 gift card. So if you have an idea, and I don't have a tip that would improve your geocaching, but if you think you do, and I run it by a couple geocachers and they say, yeah, this is a good idea, we'll put it on our site and send you a gift card. And then that'll be a free resource that we'll always offer to anybody. And next time I come on a show like this, I'd have something to recommend. So, like I said, I'm Jim at writeintherain.com, and email me about anything. And if you have a free form, I'd love to put it on our site.
I love that. I will make sure that's in the show notes, your email address and the offer, and we'll see if we get any takers. And and it's always good to support a Northwest-based company.
Oh yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. Well,
yeah, and outside of just the free forms offer, if you email me about product suggestions, or if you just want to ask a question about the product, also I encourage you guys to hit me up for a free sample. I'll send you a little pocket notebook so you guys can really put this stuff to the test. Happy to send out those kind of things because I really encourage people, like I said, to push the stuff to the limit. and really see what it can do. And I think the sample, if you haven't put your own couple dollars forward, it's a good way to do that. There's really nothing to lose. Just email me.
Very cool.
That's awesome. Well, I can guarantee that we can find ways to push the product to the limit.
I bet.
Lucky and I have done some very crazy adventures. So.
Well, I have to admit, I'm impressed with the displays you have. I've seen in several of the geocaching stores where the Rite and the Rain
bucket
is sitting in a bucket of water running over it all the time.
Yeah, we have the unfortunate problem with that where the potential customers put new notebooks in there, and so there tends to be the pile under the bucket, which is like a nuisance. It is a fun display, and we're always looking for ways to show it seems like overkill. Like, why would I need a waterproof notebook? Mm-hmm. And especially when it's at a cost premium over like the $5 for $1. Notebooks you can get from Walgreens or wherever, but that bucket cuts right through to the chase and says pretty much like, bring it on, just do it, and that's so it is fun to see those.
Because I know we signed several log sheets in Woodby Island this weekend that I really wish hadn't been on Rite in the Rain paper because they were pretty mushy.
Well, in the live Q&A, B Pendragon says, we were talking about having a geocaching event around your 100th celebration there. It says the geocaching event where the log book is to be stored in a damp Ziploc unless it's being signed. So that's a unique idea. We could have a bucket of water, put the log book in it. You have to pull it out, sign it, and put it back.
Yeah,
I love it. That's awesome.
That's good.
Yeah. I like that too. Yeah, let's put it in there.
Yeah.
Who was it? I think it was the geocaching doc. He's got a pretty popular YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm.
He's always doing torture tests and things like that, submerging it for a week and testing it out. So, following his example, I think we'll have to publicly torture test our own stuff and maybe do a little bit of one-upmanship there.
There you go.
Especially around the centennial, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Jim, we really appreciate your time this evening. I know this is late for you, not during business hours, so I really appreciate you taking the time to come on the show tonight. Before we leave, you've already said your email address, but where can our listeners find out more information about Rite in the Rain products?
Yeah, so I'm pretty much all over the place, and if you follow us on social media, you're talking right to me, so you can find us on Twitter at Rite in the Rain, on Facebook at Rite in the Rain, on Instagram at Rite in the Rain, and even on Reddit. I know a lot of geocachers are on the geocaching subreddit, so I am Rite in the Rain _NB for notebooks. And so yeah, shoot me a message, send me a photo, send me an email, however you want to get in touch. I'm always down to hear from you and hear your stories, take your free forms, send you a sample, high five you, or do your podcast. I really enjoy talking to all you guys. So.
Well, thanks so much. We appreciate your time tonight. Wits End, where can people find you? If they wanted to look up more pictures of this incredible mustache, where would they go?
Well, I don't know about that so much, but Wits End is Wits End at Facebook, geocaching.com, Twitter, all those places. If you start out at witsend.us, that website will give you the links to just about every place else. How about the Land Monkey?
Well, our website is landmonkey.blogspot.ca, and on Twitter, Instagram, and Periscope, we're at LandMonkeyGC, GC for geocaching, and on Facebook, we're Team Land Monkey. But of course, most of the activity will be on YouTube. Just search Land Monkey on YouTube, and you'll find us in our latest adventures.
And you can always find Caching in the Northwest on Facebook, Google+, Twitter. Just look for Caching NW. And, as always, we want to thank you for taking the time to listen to this episode of Caching in the Northwest. Don't forget that you can be part of the show. Call in 253-693-TFTC and leave us a comment, question. Send us a Rite in the Rain notebook any time of the day or night. Mm-hmm. And, of course, you can email us at feedback@cachingnw.com. Don't forget that your support helps keep quality shows coming. So, if you like this show and you like what Jim talked about Rite in the Rain paper, click the PayPal button on the link or the PayPal button on the website to help us out. This show's licensed under a Creative Commons Attribution 3.0 license, copyright 2016 by Chris Umfenauer. Okay, we are officially clear of the recording. Jim, now's when we go and answer some of the questions or some of the comments in the Q&A that we didn't get to.
Fun.
Let's see.
I have to say, I didn't realize there were so many specialty products from Rite in the Rain.
Yeah.
I pulled up my phone to follow you on Twitter when you talked about that, and did a little search. One of the first hits that comes up is this photo. You probably can't read it there, but it's the Rite in the Rain beef calving record book.
Exactly. And I think that might be worse than the raw sewage outfall in terms of substances it's likely to be exposed to.
Yeah.
It's a tough debate right there.
Yeah.
That would be a close cousin to the goat milking.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, Land Monkey, 3 hams. First of all, says nice haircut, so thank you. Wants to know what's up with the Land Monkey's new studio.
Well, the Land Monkey got kicked out of his old studio. Kids are getting older. They deserve, I don't know, want more space. So we're reallocating spaces around the house. So I moved into the back of the rec room and reset the studio, which is why we were just a few minutes late getting the live show started tonight, because anytime you move your studio, you're guaranteed, even if you plug everything in exactly the same way it was in the old studio, something's not going to work.
Because Murphy always moves with you.
That's right. Yeah, so that's why things are a little gray, a little bland here, and you can see where's that? Right back there.
There you go. Piano?
Yeah, piano.
Will you play us live music next week?
No.
Oh, bummer.
Come on, man.
Let's see. 3 Hams also says he needs a cache find on February 29th, and then he'll be done.
Yeah.
Same here.
Yes, I am. It's warmer in here this week.
IHAM knows a little bit of the studio now. He got a personalized studio tour of Wits End Studios.
Yeah.
Wow. Very nice.
Had IHAM and Die Monkey over for pizza a couple weekends ago. It was a lot of fun.
Very cool.
Now, IHAM says there used to be a cache right outside the Darling plant on Pacific Highway in Fife, but isn't showing on the map anymore.
I'll have to check into that. Let's, I'll get that going again. I think that
I can help
very neat.
you out if you want to place a cache there. We'll find something appropriate that obviously has Rite in the Rain notebooks in it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that'd be great. That's an oversight on our behalf. We got to get that going.
You know what you need is one of
That's
those
how I found you guys.
ammo cans. Fill it with water and put one logbook in it.
I got an ammo can right here. I'll set that up tomorrow.
We'll have to purposely put a note on the cache. Please do not take the water out of the ammo can. Leave it in there. I love it. And 3 Ham says that the event that for the Rite in the Rain Centennial we should set as a Periscope event so everyone can attend.
Oh, good idea. Yeah.
Oh, Periscope is really exploding.
It's taken off.
In a good way.
Yes, Bryling, we had to leave the cash machine dinner in a rush so we could catch a ferry. And even as it was, we left and still waited. Was it 3 ferries?
No, we got there in time for the 7 p.m. ferry, but it filled before we could board it, so we had to take the 7:30 ferry home.
Yeah.
But
yeah, so we ended up taking the Mukilteo ferry, which was an hour from where the dinner was, to drive down there to get the ferry.
And then another hour and a half
a while to get home.
after that. So yeah, it was a little bit of a drive.
So So I apologize not spending a lot of time with you. What are we looking at here, Land Monkey?
My car last winter decided that it wanted to be just like Wits End, so I took.
Isn't that nice?
Last winter.
It's a
Are
must.
we talking a
That-
few days ago or a
No,
year
no.
ago?
It's a defrosting mustache.
It's a defrosting,
Oh,
Oh,
but it
got
it
that.
has a
Okay.
big crack across the windshield at the same time, so that has been fixed. But I walked back. I was about to, as you can see, the scraper on there. I was about to scrape the frost off, and I thought that is too funny. I got to take a picture of that because.
Love it.
Pete Pendragon says Periscope is rising above the waves, you say?
hi-oh.
Up Periscope.
Up there.
Kelsey Grammer movie?
Yeah.
Oh, Iham says yes, it was a fake rocket at the base of one of the trees. He's got the GC number, GC2483P.
Hike.
That's quite impressive. I don't know if I'd be able to come up with that. Well, gentlemen, thank you so much. We'll catch all of you wonderful listeners next week. So until then.
Thanks for watching.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys.
Have a great week.